Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports. This is not going to be pretty. We'll be talking about Arsenal Football Club. We're going to be talking about Arsene Wenger. And we're going to be talking about those transfers. Where do we begin with this? Let's take you back to last season. I said that at the end of last season, Arsene Wenger, when he won the FA Cup, should have gone and gone quickly. Remember Alex Ferguson in his last year with Manchester United? Ferguson knew when to get out, and he got out. And then he left a Man United side that weren't as good as the Man United side that he had after having years of, fantastic days and fantastic nights and trophy winning and title winning performances with a great squad. Arsene Wenger is like that boxer that's had one fight too many. Arsenal Football Club, or once known as the Immortals, the Unbeatables. Now, it's very easy to beat Arsenal. It's like polar opposites. When Wenger had the club at one point, they went the whole season unbeaten. Yet, he's done that. And in his whole legacy now, he's made Arsenal at points in time during last season the whooping boys. And let's not talk about this season. Let's not even go about this season. Now, you've heard me talk about the fact that I've said that Arsenal is not just a football club, it's an academy. It produces some of the best players in the world. And then when they get to becoming world class, what do? We ship them off to Man United, Man City, Barcelona. The manager, time after time after time, has shown when there are big players, it seems to me that his ego is too big. And so therefore, anybody who may overshadow him has to leave. We've seen Henry leave Arsenal, go to Barcelona, and win the Champions League, something that Arsene Wenger has never done. We've seen Van Persie, a brilliant striker for us, injury plagued. We sold him to our rivals. What does he do? He only goes on and wins the Premiership with his team and has a great goal scoring season. And there are many others that Wenger has brought through the ranks, and then sold on to other clubs. In the meanwhile, every year, the team just keeps sinking. Before, it was to win the Premiership. Then it was to qualify and get fourth for the Champions League. Now, we are not even in the Champions League. We are playing Europa football. The standards at Arsenal are slipping, and they are dire. It seems apparent that this manager, Arsene Wenger, is old-fashioned, but old-fashioned to the point where he's rigid and he hasn't moved on, and all the other clubs around him have moved on. Explain to me how a team like Leicester City can go on and win the Premiership, yet we don't even come close. So, okay, there are people within the Arsenal ranks that said, Wenger should stay. Wenger should stay. Based on what? He's not relating to his players. And the performances have not been good enough. And if Arsenal fans are believing that winning an FA Cup is the hallmark of what a great manager is in 2017, then you're sadly mistaken. If you're at Chelsea, if you're at Man United, if you're at Man City, it's unacceptable. You get sacked. That's it. There is no well, you know, we'll stick with you for the next 4 to 5 years and you'll just get us in the Champions League and that's enough. We want to win things. The Tinkerman, Claudio Ranieri, won the Premiership in one season, and in the next season, when things didn't go the way he wanted at the beginning of the season, Leicester City sacked him. Arsenal don't believe that. You've seen last season top players. When you've got a guy like Alexis Sanchez who's burying his head in his face, and it's like, what are you doing? What are we doing? Where are we going? What is the vision? And players on the inside know what's going on in terms of transfer listings and transfers, players coming in. They must know. They'll know if a guy's coming in or not. But you know, supporters of Arsenal Football Club, the deluded ones, who when many were saying Wenger out, were saying Wenger in. He's stable. He'll keep the club afloat. We don't damn well need the club to be afloat. We need to be winning things. We need to be winning the Champions League. We need to win the Premiership. Being a top 4 club, that's what Arsenal should be doing. Not trying to barely get into the Champions League and then get to the quarterfinals and get beat. This has always been, but for many years now, get to 4th place, get in the Champions League, and get knocked out of the quarterfinals. Year in, year out. Same thing happens every single year with Arsenal. So what's the point of taking part in the Champions League and then doing the same things over and over and over again? Getting beat by the same teams over and over and over again. You're not getting better players. But okay, wait. Let's just wait a second. So many of you would know that I play Football Manager. And it took me 6 seasons to actually win the Champions League. I'd won the Premier League back to back to back. But to win the Champions League, it took something else. I had to invest in my defense. Lacazette was one of the first guys I bought for my club. And whilst we won the league, our defense wasn't good enough for the Champions League. So I had to invest. Players who weren't performing had to go. And this is just a computer game. Now, for the life of me, I can't understand why Wenger doesn't want to use money to invest heavily in players. Again, I think Wenger's got an ego problem. I really do. I don't think he can manage big players. I don't. Why is it someone like Thierry Henry or Patrick Vieira, real leaders, are not at Arsenal? What the hell is Patrick Vieira doing in America? Or what the hell was he doing with Man City? Made no sense. Anyway, back to my original point. So he signs a free. Let me get the guy's name. I can never pronounce the guy's name. Like Kochesnik, the guy on the left-hand side, the winger. Okay, we hear how, you know, we won't buy this season, we won't buy in that season, we won't buy because we haven't got enough money. The club's absolutely loaded. So why won't we buy players? Okay, so we get a guy on a free on the left-hand side that damn well nobody knows about. That's the left-sided player. That's what our manager thinks is the way forward for Arsenal. Okay, the left back. So you stay quiet. Rumours of Lacazette coming to the club. He signs, and we think it's a new dawn. that Wenger has turned the corner. We see a bid for Thomas Lemar supposedly go in. Gets rejected. Doesn't want to come to Arsenal. Mbappe. Big talk. We're going to sign Mbappe. Have you ever wondered and ever thought to yourself, why the hell would you come to Arsenal Football Club when all their best players are leaving out? But no, stick with Wenger. Stick with Wenger. So what are we doing now? Chamberlain is now on his way out of the club. Sanchez is potentially on his way out of the club. Ozil, another player, potentially out of the club. All potentially the best players of the club are leaving. Mustafi leaving. And I just think to myself, had Wenger left, the best transfer Arsenal could have done is Wenger out. Not Wenger out and be a director. Wenger out. O-U-T. Out. Sacked. Done. Leave the club. But with the same old mentality and the same stubborn ways. No. We bring Lacazette in. That's it. Liverpool, I understand, have made a bid for Thomas Lemar. There's a big possibility that's going to happen. It doesn't look good from the outside looking in. Then all the top players are leaving the club. Are the players revolting because of Arsene Wenger? You won't go, you'll sign a new contract. Well, if you're not going to go, we're going to go. Because you've got no intentions of wanting to win the Champions League. You've got no intentions of wanting to win the Premiership. Coming third or fourth, that's fine. That's good enough. Lose 5-6 games and then go on a little rally at the end of the season and try and get to fourth place. No, that's not good enough for me. That's not good enough for me as a player. I want to win things. And Arsenal are not a club no longer that have the ambition to win a Premiership. Don't have the ambition no more to win the Champions League. Their ambition is to win the League Cup and the FA Cup. That's what it is. And the best players get sold out on the academy. As an academy player, sell them out. And we are just a team now that produces players and sells them out. Look at Chamberlain. Came through the Arsenal, came from Southampton, came through the Arsenal ranks. Out, shipped out now. Sanchez, proving his point as a top player, world player. On his way out, he's going to be on his way out the club. And we have to think of, well, contracts. So there are problems at Arsenal Football Club. Arsenal are in a crisis. And the best way to get rid of that crisis is to get rid of Arsene Wenger now. He has to go. Our performance against Liverpool was disgusting. That man has to go. He's like a cancer. He has to go. He has to go. I hope in the middle of the night somebody kidnap him and take him and leave him on a deserted island. The guy has to go. He has to go. And a man like I talked about the other day, I can't remember the guy's name again. Gus Hiddink is the kind of guy that Arsenal need. A guy that has won the Premiership. A guy that knows the Premiership. A guy that understands top quality players and they'll get the respect of the players. I assure you, if Arsene Wenger had left the club when the FA Cup was won, thank you very much, Arsene. Now piss off. If that had happened then I believe under new dawn and under a new manager, we'd have fresh players coming in. And it may take time for them to settle in. But at least a manager that can command a respect. And the players want to stay at Arsenal or want to see where they're going. But at the moment, under Arsene Wenger, we know the vision. We know the position. And players are fed up. And now they're all leaving. Oh, the contracts. If they want to play for the manager, the contract's not an issue. So now we once again Arsenal Academy Football Club are selling to our rival Chelsea. Well, let's see what people are saying. Let's hear what people are saying. My man in the room, DJ Slick, is going to just rub it in even further. He says, Ozil to Dortmund, Sanchez to Man City, Gibbs to Watford, Gabriel to Valencia, Mustafi to Inter Milan. And then he says, Bale to United, Mbappe to PSG, Lemar, Keita, Van Dijk, and Renato Sanchez to Liverpool, Mahrez to Tottenham. He goes, Peter Powell says, Ashley Cole plus 5 million plus Gallas. Adam Scott says, Wenger stayed on at the club for the sake of himself and not the club. I agree. What Steve Bowles' role at the club? Flipping hell, I don't know. So transfer window special. Let's talk about the ins and outs. 3 days left. Stop moaning. You win the FA Cup every year. Bloody hell. Ozil, 43 million to Dortmund. Sanchez, 70 million to Man City. Chamberlain, 34 million to Chelsea. Gibbs, 7 million to Watford. Gabriel, gone to Valencia. Mustafi, Inter Milan. Who can we bring in? Adam Scott says they're absolutely loaded as a club in London with those ticket prices. Kochelnik, Arsenio, 70 million buyout clause. Jean Siri, 30 million buyout clause. Inzoni and William Carvalho and Mahrez also available. Arsenio Real Madrid ain't selling for anybody. Gus Hiddink is a good shot. I think Gus Hiddink would be perfect for Arsenal. Perfect fit for Arsenal. Oh, my heart's starting to hurt me here. What would you where would you spend the 150 that you're going to get for our top players being sold? What names would you want? 3 days to go. Who should we target? Actually, like to see some English players. I understand Drinkwater and Chamberlain are going to Liverpool. Van Dijk would be a good for Arsenal. He ain't going to Arsenal. He's going to Liverpool. LOL. We want to know. LOL. No, we'll want to go to Arsenal because of Wenger. Wenger in, says Mr. Skeptical. Hiddink is like 71 now. How is he the good long-term manager? We're not talking long-term, but damn well Wenger is no-term, right? Bring Hiddink in, bring Henry as an assistant manager under Hiddink, and have Henry as the new manager. All right, I think that would work. Henry, assistant manager, Hiddink, manager, and use Henry as the guy to learn. I don't see anything wrong with that. And bring their old guys back. Bring Bergkamp back to the club. Bring Vieira back to the club. Bring Tony Adams back to the club. Bring the old boys back to the club. Because they have the pride for Arsenal. You know, they have a pride of wanting to win things. Because it's got to be damn well better than flipping having Wenger at the club. Give Wenger some respect. He has given us stability at the club that the other teams only dream of Wenger in. Yeah, it's people like you. It's people like you that have got the club where it is at the moment. 3 days to go. Some of our best players have been sold out the club. Man, you lack no standards. Arsenal badly need a world-class holding midfielder. They've been crying out for one for years. 5-star Firmino says Arsenal need to finish 8th or 7th to season change. He might get sacked then. No, I don't think so. It's embarrassing that Wenger is blind to the problems. Arsenal ended up like Newcastle or Aston Villa. Mr. Skeptical says Arsenal is Arsenal, Arsenal is Arsenal. The players are the problem. No, I don't think the players are the problem. I think Arsene Wenger is the problem. He lacks ambition. He lacks ambition as a manager. He lacks ambition. He lacks ideas. Arsenal playing the same bloody football year in, year out. Same bullshit. I'm sorry, but you're wrong on that one. All the names have no experience as managers. What? Gus Hiddink has got great manage. To be honest, from a neutral, I can also see Alexis Sanchez leaving by Thursday. Indeed, all the top players are leaving the club. But yeah, we've got knobs. People have got no sort of brain thinking, yeah, keep Wenger at the club. Unless you're a Tottenham supporter, then you'd want that. Stability? What stability? What is stability? Stability is your best players wanting to leave the club. Stability is your nobody from the world's best players want to come to your club. Is that stability? Is stability coming trying to get fourth in a Champions League and getting knocked out in the quarterfinals every year? Yeah, stable, but producing nothing but an FA Cup. Is that stability? Well, I'm sorry, but that's not stability in terms of the standards of what Arsenal were as a Premier League team winning the Premiership. Barry Ryan says Wenger is blind to problems in away games against top six. You can't play like that. Bro, what are your thoughts? What do you want? I told you what I want. Okay, if we can't get Hiddink, get in Mancini. Bring Mancini in. Bring someone in who has knowledge of the Premiership and actually can win things. Bring Mancini in. Where's Mancini? Get Mancini. He goes, Hiddink is retired. I think he's almost 72. And I think you want a new manager, then find one new, like one year later. Glad you're not in charge. Well, I have been in charge for my Arsenal football team on Football Manager, and we've won the Premiership countless of times, and we won the Champions League. And do you know why we won those things? Because the team that we had weren't good enough. We had to invest. And players weren't performing like Ozil, and he had to go. Simple as. I can bloody see it, and it's a football game on a bloody computer. Why Wenger can't see it is right in front of him, I don't know. I support Man United, and I don't blame Wenger. For me, it's the owners. You need to blame for not spending enough in the transfer window. Interesting. Mr. Skeptical says Barcelona play the same style as us. They just executed better. Our players are too to blame, not Wenger. We need players with big heart, ambition, and physical attributes. Well, Wenger brings these guys into the club and gives them the okay, yeah? Any manager would be better than Wenger right now, just for Huddersfield are bigger net spend than Arsenal at the moment. Ingram, Moyes or Wenger? Bloody hell. Bring Steve McLaren in. Dear me. Bring Sam Allardyce in. God, I don't know. Who would you have? Any manager would be better than Wenger right now. Just need to so change. United fan. Thank you. Thanks. Thoughts on Wenger playing Monreal at centre back whilst putting Bellerin on the left wing? Wise is a right back whilst keeping the left back into. You know, that's the sort of thing. You know, Wenger reminds me of, you know, when we play Football Manager and we've got players that are out injured and you're in the Champions League and you can't play certain players because they're not being registered or they're injured, and you play like the guy who's your centre back, you play him at left back, and the guy who's like an attacking midfielder, your striker's out injured, so you bring him up front, but he's really attacking midfielder. That's sort of shit Wenger does, but Wenger actually does it all the time. I don't understand Arsene Wenger. I think because of what he did with Henry, like he got Henry, who was a winger, and brought him in and brought him as a striker. Because he did that with Henry, he thinks he could do that with everybody, but not everybody's Henry. It's the players are not good enough. The squad is the problem, not the manager. Buying Lacazette doesn't win you the league. I agree with you. 50 million Lacazette on the bench with Welbeck taking his place instead, who can never stay on his feet to finish. Peter Powell says Pardew is available. Man United are going to win the league. They probably will do, because Mourinho is one of these guys who's going to watch and he'll make adjustments. He'll make the changes on the fly. And you know, like I said, he said that Wenger has got a PhD in failure. And this guy he's a master of failure now, an absolute master of failure. The guy's got no backbone. He's just, thoughts of Liverpool. Hey, they're doing well and they're investing and they're bringing more players into the club. They've fair play to them. You know, they're investing in any club that's going to invest and bring top quality to their squads. Then you take your hat off to them. Big Sam will sort the defense out, no problems. Thoughts on it? A lot of time for Liverpool. A lot of time for Liverpool. But I've always liked Liverpool. So you don't understand how much Wenger's done for the club. I don't give a shit what he's done for the club. He has taken the club from being unbeatable to being a club that's basically almost a laughing stock of the Premiership. I don't give a damn about the history. It's like that is just like ridiculous. That's like saying, oh, remember all the great memories that Muhammad Ali gave us. Let's keep him still boxing today. What the hell are you talking about? Everybody has their time and their season, and then they've got to move on. We can't keep going on about somebody who's done something years and years ago. Wenger has never won the damn Premier. He's never won the Champions League. He's never won the Champions League. So what have we got to be grateful for? Making our team a laughing stock, selling our best players to our rivals, and then afterwards, by selling them to our rivals, what happens? They end up coming around and whooping our asses. Huh? That's what we got to be thankful for. Yeah, great. Thanks, mate. Cheers. Cheers, mate. Arsenal should go after Algeria from Juventus. Italians know how to win titles in the Premier League. Of course, the problem's there. The problem at Arsenal is the hierarchy. It's too comfortable at Arsenal, like Henri mentioned yesterday. Well, there you go. Barry Ryan says, LOL skeptical. You cannot keep a manager who's been underperformed for a decade in the big games, away games, and competition. You're waiting. It's keeping him on sentiment. Yep. What makes you think about getting rid of Wenger and things get better? Things make things better. Look at what happened when Ferguson left. You don't assume that will happen. What the hell are you talking about? You get rid of Wenger. Ferguson leaves when he knew the team was shit and was on his way out. He brings in Moyes. You don't tell me Moyes is a world-class manager. Don't tell me Moyes is a world-class manager. And then Mourinho comes along, who's got a proven record in the Premiership and has won the Champions League. What the hell are you talking about? Neymar, Mbappe, Cavani up front, PSG coming for the Champions League. Yep, can see it happening. What's going to happen with the new Alan Hansen, Rob Holding? That's been shocking this season so far. He hasn't underperformed. The board and the players have. We also have had the burden of moving stadiums, which has hindered our success. What are you talking about? How many years ago did we move to the stadium? What are you talking about? You are absolutely full of crap. Leicester City won the Premiership under Claudio Ranieri. What are you talking about? Arsenal should have got Pep, but City got that money. Yeah, I agree with that one. I agree that junglist. Look at Ranieri, skeptical. He won the league, then he was doing turbulent, and then they were heads down. No keeping him on sentiment there. They got rid of him and stayed up. That's the difference. Chelsea, Manchester United, Man City. That's the difference. You don't perform, you're out the door, son. Look at Chelsea, who had Mourinho, and Mourinho wasn't performing. What happened? They sacked his ass. So if Mourinho gets sacked and he's a Champions League winner, then I think Wenger should get sacked as well. Wenger was a great manager in his day, but he hasn't been able to stick with the times. He can't function in this era. His mentality and methods are expired and don't work in his new footballing world. I agree. It's all about money. Get rid of Krunkier and the rest. I think Wenger's got dementia or mental disease. He should retire. So what? He's won the most FA Cups. We've got to appreciate the skill of our clubs like Barcelona and Managerial when it comes to skeptical. Listen, mate, you know what? You're the reason why we're clubs in this situation is at the moment. People like you. So I'm not even engaging in conversation with people like yourself because it's absolute. It's what I call living in the past. You know, one of these people that walk their heads walking backward, their heads facing backwards when their feet are walking forwards. Sorry. Wenger's post-match either looks like an old man who's lost his marbles, still trying to do what worked in the 90s in hope that more than belief that it'll work again. Thank you very much. No, yeah, it's not Gus Hiddink I was looking for. Ancelotti, sorry. My apologies. I messed up. Not Gus Hiddink. Ancelotti's the guy I was talking about. Ancelotti's the guy I wanted to come in because he went to Chelsea as well. Ancelotti's the guy I was saying should be the new Arsenal manager. That's the guy. Sorry. Ancelotti. Sorry, Ancelotti. None of those managers you mentioned are world class. The team is a mess right now. Getting a new manager could break things worse. Why do you assume it would be better if United took 5 years? But you got to plant the seed, son. You don't know anything about gardening. You got to put a seed in the ground. Man United are walking league this year. Liverpool sacked Dalglish. You got to make hard decisions. Stability is more important, in my opinion. Titles will come eventually. Mate, you have no ambition. Possible candidates for Arsenal. What he's at Bayern, why would he up and leave? Well, that's what I'm saying. Ancelotti is the kind of guy I have. I love Ancelotti. Skeptical the way he sets them up defensively is appalling. You always get found out against the top teams. No one but Wenger is to manage Arsenal because he's the only one. I think skeptical is he's a troll. I'm sure of it now. But Ryan, I'm not even talking about Barcelona or Real. I mean to Premiership top 6. I reckon Wenger is sabotaged the club because he's absolutely embarrassing. Mancini, Ancelotti, Rijkaard, Hiddink, Tuchel. Okay, let's read a little article that I've just picked up on. This article is, I'll put the link in the description box. It's from the Express. And we can get into it. That's the link. So you can have a look at it afterwards. I'm going to read it. You can read it with me. Okay, and the link says, Arsenal news. Players unhappy with club's transfer plans. Sanchez future, big concern. Arsenal have made 2 signings so far this summer, breaking the club record to land Lacazette from Lyon for 52.7 million and nabbing Kaselnik on a free for Schalke. Meanwhile, the futures of some of their senior players seems uncertain. Alexis Sanchez is out of contract at the end of the Mizzle Ursel, while Express Sport understands Chelsea have agreed a 35 million deal with the Gunners to sign Oxlade-Chamberlain. The winger is understood to be expected to have a medical at England's headquarters at St George's Park ahead of the Three Lions World Cup qualifying clash against Malta on Friday. Arsenal were given a huge wake-up call on Sunday when they were thrashed 4-0 to Liverpool. The result spelled a fresh crisis of Arsene Wenger, whose side have only won 1 of their last 3 games in the Premiership this season. But off the pitch, the players are concerned over the direction of the club. The Daily Mirror claimed that the futures of Sanchez, Ozil, Chamberlain has created a sense of apathy among the squad. It is suggested some players do not care or even believe the club has a genuine chance of fighting for trophies. I understand because that's exactly how I feel. The Mirror also claims that there's a real sense of disappointment enveloping their dressing room, with some hoping of big changes. When asked about Oxenchambers' future after defeat at the Reds, Wenger said, "That's not the kind of question I can answer after a game like that. I think we were focused on the game. I think we are focused on the game. What will happen on the transfer market in the next 3 days? I don't know. You damn well know, you liar." The Gunners will have to starve off interest from Man City for Sanchez, with recent reports suggesting Pep Guardiola is prepared to work right up to the wire on deadline day to secure the deal. Right. So that's some news coming out of the Express there. Arsenal admitted last season that I was blocked early for having an opinion. Were you, Ross Clark? Well, I didn't block you, son. Why is it? Why is it that just the manager who takes blame? What about world-class players like Ozil and Sanchez playing awful and having poor attitudes that they don't get no hate? They get their, they get, they deserve better, etc. I bet you any money, and you've seen it. Players leave Arsenal, they go on and play better. So I can see it happening. Wenger admitted last season that uncertainty about his future was hampering the club. Why does he think all this uncertainty about his own players was any better? DFC says Sanchez and Ozil had a fight at halftime in the dressing room. Ozil is in world class anymore. Even players in Germany don't rate him. Germans don't rate Ozil. Why is he named German Player of the Year then? Ozil isn't. What happened to your nose? What? LFC. So let's have a look and see the sort of players that potentially could come to Arsenal. Give me a moment. Give me a second. Well, let's hear what the Arsenal manager has got to say about transfer deals. Arsene Wenger replies when asked if Arsenal will make any new signings before deadline. Arsene Wenger was giving little away when asked if he plans to make any more Arsenal signings before the transfer deadline. Arsenal's miserable start to the season continued on Sunday when they suffered a demoralising 4-0 loss to Liverpool. The result left the Gunners 16th place in the Premier League table, and having lost 2 of their 3 opening games of the new campaign. Arsenal have been linked with a host of new players throughout the summer, but the North London side have only signed 2 players. It remains to see whether Arsenal will bring any more players in. However, Wenger was in no mood to discuss potential incomings when asked about his potential remaining transfer plans following Sunday's thrashing by Liverpool. Asked if he will sign any more players this summer, Wenger told Sky Sports, "We think a lot about that, but just after a performance like that, I don't think it's the moment to talk about it." Arsenal must now dust themselves down and look to get back to winning ways after the international break when they host Bournemouth in the Emirates. The North London side have not won the Premier League title since their famous unbeaten triumph in the 2003-2004 campaign. So you think about that. The last time Arsenal won the Premiership was in 2003-2004. Now, Arsenal lineup move to sign Real Madrid attacker before deadline. The Daily Express is claiming that the Gunners are ready to make a late move to bring 21-year-old attacking midfielder to Emirates Stadium this summer. Interesting, because wasn't Insigne one of the players that I signed for Arsenal? The same report says that Real Madrid want to tie Insigne down to a new contract, but the midfielder wants more regular playing time. The article also claims that Insigne has a 75 million release clause in his contract with the Spanish Giants. It remains to see whether Gunners will be able to force through a move for the youngster before Thursday night's transfer deadline. The proposed move will represent a significant transfer coup for the North London side should they be able to secure a deal before Thursday night. See, the problem is, for me, is that if you decide to sign players, players will look at the current Arsenal side and say, okay, well, I was looking forward to play with Sanchez. I would like to play with Ozil. I would like to play with Alexis Chamberlain. Those 3 guys are leaving the club. Mustafi's leaving. Majority of players are leaving. I'm playing them. I'm going to be coming to a club with a manager who seems to be quite outdated in his ways. Why am I going to come to Arsenal? So I don't know. I don't think the players are the problem. I think the manager and the way to set the club up is a problem. Watch when Wenger wins the title this season, you'll all eat your words. I don't know about that bit. I don't know. Arsenal ain't winning no title this year. Trust me. You're telling me Arsenal are going to do better than Man United, Man City, Chelsea, Tottenham? I don't think so. So this article's in the Sun newspaper. They're Borussia Dortmund are Ozil could make shock Borussia Dortmund switch as German side look to replace Dilembe. This is in the Sun. Bundesliga giants collected 130 million for the French winger and are aiming to reinvest it in the Gunners' ace immediately. Borussia Dortmund are lining up a shock swoop for Mesut Ozil to replace Dembele. Okay. Ozil is one of three big names in their final year of contract, along with the Ox and Sanchez. The Chilean forward continues to be a target for the League One giants Paris Saint-Germain and Premier League rivals Man City. Meanwhile, Oxlade-Chamberlain is on the cusp of a move to either Liverpool or Chelsea. We know now he's going to Chelsea. Ozil appears to be the latest star on the way out of the Emirates, as Dortmund set to launch a late bid. So the German midfielder has copped plenty of flack so far at Arsenal this season for his lackluster displays. The lethargic display sets tongue wagging that Ozil could be on his way out of the North London club. Dortmund, the club in prime position to make the move. So there we go. And there's a little article here in the corner. It says, over and out. Liverpool cave in to Philippe Coutinho's demands and will now negotiate his 148 million move to Barcelona. That happened already, did it? It's going to happen. But yeah. So I think that skeptical is actually a troll. I'm convinced of that now. Arsenal have a mad academy. They should play them. Oh, I'm not sure about that. I'm Arsenal. Arsenal get top four. They won't. Not going to happen under Wenger. Yeah, last season showed you that. Yeah, Wenger will stick with Wiltshire and Walcott this season. Yeah, he will. Yo, who remembers the days when Ingram didn't rate Dembele and thought he was crap, but now goes to Barcelona for over 100 million? Yeah, but I didn't rate Ozil either, and he got sold as well. So it's a mentality problem. LOL. Please tell me how. Ingram only knows about boxing. Don't know nothing about football, really. All right, mate. Considering my cousin is actually a Premiership footballer, I do know something about football. I'm not saying that I'm an expert, but hey, if you don't like what I've got to say, Robin red carp fishing, do one. What's Nightbot? Nightbot is for people who decide to swear or use cap locks. It's basically my automatic bot that basically cleans up the room. The problems are clear. It's the way Wenger sets. Oh, there you go. Mate, you live a lonely life. You're a very lonely person, Mr. Truther. The fact that you have to keep on opening up YouTube accounts all the time, you're so sad. And every time I just push this button, bye. Idiot. How is your cousin? He's very good, thank you. Defoe's your cousin, right? Yes. Arsenal have become a Europa League team. They have. That's what it is. Gotta love trolls. I love them. They feel like they have some sort of power or some sort of control. Just push the block button and just send them on their way. So yeah, don't give them that much energy. They don't work very well. They don't do well at all. Yeah, they go be you crackhead, mate. You need to go to school, stop the drink, and go to school and learn how to spell and to read and to write. And there's lots of programs on YouTube that can teach you how to read and to write. Go to school, you illiterate fool. But Defoe, are you close? Does he give you nice presents? Defoe is pretty close to my family. Uncle Jimmy um, is his father. What defender would you buy, bro? Who's the guy I bought from? The guy I bought from Schalke, was it Nasmik? I think he's gone. I think he's gone to. I think he's a Chelsea player now. Nasmik was one. Uh, guy from Milan. You know what I'm talking about. Ro- Rogomoli, I think his name is. In defence, him. Saka available if you want him. Uh, Kane Fine says, as a neutral, as a neutral, Wenger is making your club worse season by season. You need to sign a good centre back, a pacey winger, and a good Vieira type centre mid. But I'm sorry, I don't see you anywhere near the top this year. I agree with you. I agree with you. I totally agree with you. I couldn't say it better myself. Sacco is a guy that I would sign. Do you think three at the back was the right move for Arsenal? At Arsenal, yeah, three at the back could be a right move at Arsenal if you got three quality centre backs. Um, but it's the quality, isn't it? Oh, what's his name? Samuel Utzmil, the guy from is that Barcelona? Oh no, or Paris Saint Germain. Utzmil. All the guys from Football Manager. Matip, could we get Matip in? Sacco's solid and leader. He just fell out with Klopp. Liverpool for the title next season. Come on, you Reds. Abu Diaby's career, not much. Czech isn't getting any younger either. Czech's got to go. Strongly disagree, Kieran. Wenger is a knight in shining armor at our club. Now, I think Mr. Skeptical is definitely a troll. Three at the back isn't good when you're playing Liverpool with three attackers. No, it isn't. So, in closing, Wenger needs to go. I think that, yeah, sorry. When I said Gus Hiddink, I meant Ancelotti. I can't believe I've messed the two guys up. Ancelotti should be manager of Arsenal. He's got experience. He's done well in the Premiership. He's won the Premiership. He's got a good head. He's experienced. He'll have the know-how. He'll have the know-how. He'll have the respect of the players as well, and he'll be quite savvy in the market. Shame we'd have to wait till next season for him to arrive. No Wenger. No Wenger in. So, well, there you go. I think it's terrible, the state with Wenger. It really is. Wenger out. Said it before, say it again. Keep on saying it. Wenger out. The faster he goes, the better. And the longer he stays at the club, now it's the case of ruining the club right down to the ground. The longer he stays at the club, the more work he leaves for the next manager. And for me, I think it's unfair that whoever the new manager is, if Wenger gets sacked after the transfer window shuts, then that manager's going to have to deal with the dead wood that's at Arsenal Football Club. You should make a video with Defoe. I think maybe I should. I think I will. I think I will soon. It's going to be done. Ian Wright is number 2. Mate, he's achieved a lot more he's achieved a lot in 10 years, but but what's he done for the last 10 years? Nothing. His tactics out of date and he's dragging your club down. But how can you not realize it? No, I totally agree with you. Kian, I agree with you totally. Don't pay any attention to Mr. Skeptical. I think he's just a troll, just trying to be controversial. Sell Theo Walcott. He has to go. I totally agree with you. DT and Troops for manager positions. Yeah. Wenger should leave now. I agree. I'll have a medical today for Liverpool. Piers Morgan for manager. I agree. 2 more years of Wenger at least. Wenger, the brigade have won. Rick, RIP, Wenger out brigade. This is what I'm talking about. And he's probably not even an Arsenal supporter. He's probably a bloody Chelsea supporter or a Tottenham supporter. You can't really take somebody seriously. Skeptical is not somebody who's got the heart of the club in his comments. Who's had the best win in my eyes? I don't think Troops says sell Ramsey. Yeah, well, you could do. Would you ever think about having Ramsey as being captain of Arsenal? I don't know. Wenger won't go. He always sees out his contract and had a pay rise. Yeah. So finish ruining Arsenal Football Club. I'm a gunner through and through. Would you take Ross Barkley for Arsenal? Absolutely. Get Brendan Rodgers in. No, thank you. But yeah, I would definitely bring Barkley into the club. Absolutely, Ross Barkley. Definitely. Definitely. Has Ox signed for Chelsea? I'm late to the vid. I think he's more or less on his way there. 35 million, I believe. I think Brendan is better, though, after he left Liverpool and went to Celtic. So my theory is Wenger has to go. He needs to go like now, and whoever the new manager in has got, well, you've got 3 days left the transfer window, 2 days left of the transfer window. Bro, who's had the best winner? You didn't answer, bro. Well, I don't really know. I don't really think you can answer that question. Who's had the best transfer window? You could say who's bought the best players, or on the sea of things, who's got the best players. But we don't know until the Premiership League season comes to an end. Then you find if you won the best player, you got the best transfers. You know. I say Man United, then Man City, then Liverpool, then Chelsea. Someone on Twitter said their brother-in-law is working security at Melwood. More panic buyers on the way, sadly. Oh dear. Everton could have a decent window. Also could get a centre midfield and centre back. That would both be world class. I agree with you. But you could get rid of Ozil and Walcott. Wenger out, Jumanji Low in. Yeah, nothing wrong with Low. Nothing wrong with Low as well. He's another quality manager. Definitely another quality manager. Everton had a decent window. Yeah, we'll have to see how well this Rooney thing goes. And you know, he might start the season well. Can he? Will he get them 20 goals, 30 goals a season, Rooney? I don't know. Right. What's your thoughts on Keita's move to Liverpool? I think it's a great move, but with everything, we don't know how whether a guy fits in the Premiership. We don't know how he fits at the club. We really don't know. Who's got the title? What title? Yeah, I heard about Draxler. The Draxler thing for a long time. We need better defenders, and we need a damn goalkeeper as well. We need a proper goalkeeper. If Sanchez leaves leaves this window, Wenger should resign, because it's just going to get worse as the season goes on. Yeah, if I was Sanchez, I'd jump ship now. United walking it. Firmino, you think Coutinho would be going then after all this spending? I believe Coutinho's meant to be on his way to Barcelona. They're quoted for 174 million. We've been looking Draxler for years. Can't see it happening. That's true. Any big players that decide to come to us now, the question you've got to ask yourself is this: why am I going to come and play for Arsenal in the Europa League? That's it. Why am I going to play in the Europa League with Arsenal? They'll just, all you have to do is look at Lacazette, that's signed. Look at him. He's Arsenal signing. What happened to Coquelin and Iwobi? You tell me. Is Ox really leaving, bro? Yeah, he's gone. I understand. He's with Chelsea, 35 million, I believe they've paid. Messi, Suarez, Dembele, Coutinho, or Cavani, Mbappe, Neymar, Verratti. His attitude stuck the whole joint out, and Klopp can't stand players who don't want to play for him. Yeah, good. I have the same attitude. The death of Arsenal. Well, crisis, I'd say. What's Wenger doing? I have got no idea what Wenger's doing. Nobody knows what Wenger's doing, apart from those people that want to see Arsenal do that. Also, your board is not much better than Wenger. Yeah, I have to agree with you there. Sorry, I have to agree with you. Arsenal are in a terrible state. They're in a terrible state, but it's self-inflicted. And RIP Arsenal could be. I mean, I don't know what Henry is thinking now. I really don't know. Really don't know. I don't know what to say, people. Aren't you tired? Yeah, I'm bloody tired. I've done an hour with Bermain Stavern. I've done 3 hours with my Leicester City squad. This channel is better than Arsenal Fan TV. I've done 3 hours of my Leicester City football team, and we had a bang average side. Got Ross Barkley on a free. Brought Ericsson in. I brought Lafont in. And let me tell you something. We won the Europa League. Came 8th in the league, but we won the Europa League. So that's on this channel. Check it out. Our Football Manager. Check that out as well. And those of you who are new to the channel, please rate and subscribe. If you enjoy the football videos, I'll do a bit more of them. Is Alexis going to City? If I was a betting man, I think Alexis Sanchez goes to City. I think Alexis Sanchez will go to City. I really do. If I'm a betting man. Chelsea are going with, they're getting, from what I understand, Chelsea are going for Drinkwater and Chamberlain. Who would you sign in the next 2 days if you were Wenger? If I were Wenger, who's going to want to come to the club? Even, well, arguably, Ozil, Sanchez, Chamberlain, Mustafi. All half your players are gone. So you tell me, why you want to play for the club? Just Lacazette is still there. Do you think we will be relegated? No, I don't think we'll get relegated. No, I don't think Arsenal will get relegated. But they ain't winning no Champions League this season, we know for sure. If they can win the Europa League, for me, I would like to see Arsenal have a real goal and try and win the Europa League. If Arsenal staying on, try and win the Europa League. Marshall, somebody I would sign. I'll try and buy Marshall. Definitely try and buy Marshall. I would definitely try and buy Marshall. Definitely. 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 Arsenal need to sell also Walcott, Ramsey and Czech. They're not good enough. I agree. What's the chance that Lacazette leaves in January? Absolutely none. Has had chances handed in a transfer request? I don't know, but I would, wouldn't you? I'm not honest, wouldn't you? If you were Alexis Sanchez, would you hand in a transfer window? Well, wouldn't you? Apparently, Ox would rather Liverpool still. Yeah, apparently, but he's gone to Chelsea, so that's even worse. That's even, think about it, it's even worse. You're not just leaving the club, but you're leaving to your local rivals. Arsenal Academy Football Club. Will Newcastle get relegated? I don't bloody know. I've got no bloody idea. Yeah, just a warning. Nightbot is just basically, it's not me, it's Nightbot. Nightbot just basically, anybody who's in caps and shouting, or if anybody swears, Nightbot will just get them out of the room. Chamberlain linking up with Fabregas now. Great. Just let's not go there. Let's not go there. Let's not go there. I just remember Sanya, Clichy at Man City. Just let's not go there. Van Persie at Man United. Henry at Barcelona. Oh dear me. I give up. I honestly give up. Thank you all so much for watching tonight. Please hit the subscribe button. And this is only the start of the season. We also lost to Stoke as well, right? Thank you all for watching. This has been BWTM Sports. I am absolutely fed up to the back teeth of Arsene Wenger. The things I think about doing to that man every time I watch a TV screen. I feel like putting on a hood, getting an arrow, and then as Arsene Wenger goes to his car, say to him, Arsene Wenger, you have failed this football club. And put an arrow. I won't kill him. I wouldn't kill him. I'll probably put an arrow through his foot. Something like that. Huddersfield have a high net rate spending than Arsenal. That sums it up. And they're second in the league. The other thing I feel like doing at Arsene Wenger is Batman style. Grabbing Arsene Wenger and getting him to the top of the highest building, the tallest building in London, right? Or in the UK. Or it has to be in London. The tallest building, right? And then getting him at the tallest building and then hanging him upside down and just tying him up and hanging him upside down. That's what I feel like doing. Oh my God. Oh my God. You don't understand. You all don't understand how I feel towards that man. I just, the laughing stock. And you know what makes it worse is when you talk to other people from other, you know, your mates, or you hear people talking about, oh yeah, this player's coming to the club, that player's coming to the club, or we're signing this player, we're signing that player. Imagine you being a Chelsea supporter or a Manchester City supporter or a Man United supporter now, or a Liverpool supporter now, or even an Everton supporter now. Just think about how you must feel when you know to your club, you've got all these brand new players coming to your club. Flipping out FIFA 18 or FIFA 17 where you're able to buy new players and bring them in. What the hell? What the hell, yeah? How about this one? Football Manager 2018. For those of you who play Football Manager, if you're an Arsenal, if you're a Man City fan, if you're a Liverpool fan, if you're any of those clubs, you know, you're happy. But if you are an Arsenal supporter and you decide to get Football Manager 2018 and you go to the transfer window You go to your squad and you see there's no Sanchez, there's no Chamberlain, there's no Ozil. You're probably happy about that. There's no Mustafi. And you're left with Theo Walcott and Coquelin and Iwobi. I'm done. I'm done. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been BWTM Sports reporting on Arsenal. What a complete and utter wow.